It is February 28th, 2026. Look at the sky over Tehran. It is no longer a sky. It is a war zone. In a massive, coordinated preemptive strike, the United States and Israel have just launched Operation Epic Fury against the Islamic Republic of Iran. Sirens are screaming in Tel Aviv. Airspaces are completely shut down. Supreme Leader Khamenei has been evacuated to a secure bunker. This is not a drill. This is the collapse of the Middle East as we know it.
Here it is.
But to understand today's fire, you have to look at the
Get to
ashes of the past. Hard to believe now, but before 1979, Iran and Israel were strategic allies. They traded oil. They shared intelligence. They even worked on joint missile programs. But the Islamic Revolution changed the geopolitical DNA of the region overnight. The Shah was exiled, the Ayatollahs took power, and Israel was instantly rebranded from a partner to the Little Satan. Iran knew it could not defeat Israel in a conventional war. So, they changed the rules of the game. They built the Ring of Fire, a network of proxy militias surrounding Israel's borders. Hezbollah in Lebanon, Hamas in Gaza, the Houthis in Yemen, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, the IRGC, funneled billions of dollars, rockets, and training to these groups. Iran fought its war in the shadows, letting others bleed for their cause. But Israel was not waiting quietly. Thus began the most sophisticated shadow war in human history. As Iran pushed toward building a nuclear bomb, Israel responded with ghosts. Iranian nuclear scientists were assassinated in broad daylight on the streets of Tehran. Deep underground facilities were sabotaged by the Stuxnet computer virus, a digital weapon that physically destroyed centrifuges. The war wasn't fought with armies. It was fought with snipers, spies, and code. To stop the nuclear program, the West weaponized the global economy. Crushing sanctions were placed on Iran, cutting them off from the global banking system. But as we know, black markets always find a way. Iran funded its proxy wars through the Ghost Fleet, smuggling millions of barrels of illegal oil to China and Russia, laundering billions of dollars outside the reach of the US dollar. The economy bled, but the regime survived. The shadow war could not stay in the dark forever. The rules changed. Proxy skirmishes escalated into direct ballistic and drone warfare. Swarms of Shahed drones and hypersonic missiles crossed the skies, turning the region into a terrifying testing ground for 21st century combat. The Iron Dome and David sling systems were pushed to their absolute limits. The distance between Tehran and Tel Aviv vanished in the span of a 12-minute missile flight. Diplomacy was the last remaining shield. But shields break. In late February 2026, the final rounds of nuclear talks collapsed. The impasse was unbridgeable. Intelligence reports indicated Iran was mere days away from weapons-grade nuclear breakout. Time ran out. The red line had been crossed. For the United States and Israel, containment was no longer an option. Action was the only language left. Israel knew it could not dismantle the deep-buried Iranian nuclear sites alone. They needed the ultimate hammer. Enter the United States. Aircraft carrier strike groups, stealth bombers, and thousands of US personnel were silently moved into the Mediterranean and the Persian Gulf. The White House made a definitive choice: protect the ally, secure the oil transit routes, and eliminate the nuclear threat permanently. Which brings us to today. 0 hour. Operation Epic Fury began in the dead of night, catching the regime entirely off guard. Massive bunker-buster bombs, engineered to penetrate hundreds of feet of solid mountain rock, rained down on Iran's deepest nuclear and military infrastructure. In a matter of minutes, decades of underground development were incinerated. IRGC command centers were instantly leveled. Defense radars went permanently dark, and all communication lines were violently severed. The strike of the coalition was surgically precise, but the devastation left behind on the ground was absolute. But this is not just about destroying centrifuges. The objective has shifted from containment to decapitation. The US president delivered a chilling message directly to the Iranian people. Take over your government. Cast off the yoke of tyranny. The goal is now explicit regime change. They are not just targeting the weapons. They are targeting the Ayatollahs. For the Revolutionary Guard, it is a choice between surrender or certain death. The shockwave of this war is not confined to the Middle East. You will feel it in your wallet by tomorrow. Global shipping through the Strait of Hormuz is paralyzed. Oil prices are violently surging, threatening to crash economies worldwide. From Ben Gurion to Tehran, civil aviation has ceased to exist. Flight radars show a massive, empty black hole over the entire region. The arteries of global trade have been severed. We have officially crossed the point of no return. The airspace is empty, the markets are bleeding, and the delicate balance of power that held the world together for decades has been shattered in a single night. Will Operation Epic Fury end with the birth of a new Middle East, finally free from the shadow of the Ayatollahs? Or have we just witnessed the opening shots of a much larger, uncontrollable global catastrophe? One thing is certain, the old world order died today. The geopolitical chessboard has been violently flipped. The pieces are falling, and the true cost of this war, measured in blood, oil, and economic collapse, will be paid by every single one of us. The abyss is staring back. Stay alert. This is Conflict Capital.